Hey, it's Jeff Lerner here, and I want to talk about how to get better results. And I have a specific sort of theory on this that's not my own. I guess I've applied it in some unique ways, but it actually comes from a couple different 20th century philosophers. Alan Watts and Aldous Huxley, but I think Watts is the one that gave it a name, kind of had this idea called the backwards law, or the principle of reversed effort. And basically, the way to explain that is you can kind of think of your conscious mind and your subconscious mind as like a seesaw, where basically the more you try to push something to the forefront of your conscious mind, the more it dips in your subconscious mind and your imagination and your instinct and your sort of reptile brain that we talk about. Your attempt to will something, to force something, almost to coerce your mind, ends up pushing it out of your life. Whereas the flip side is that the more you relax, the more you just kind of let yourself fall into a groove, the more the things that you subconsciously want or desire or are pursuing can actually manifest. And the best example, the thing that I come back to over and over in my mind to remind myself of this principle is muddy water, right? The way to clear muddy water is to let it be. So a lot of the things that we're pursuing in our life feels like kind of a dirty mess, right? It's like a muddy pool that we're trying to slog through, and really what we need to do is just let it be. And the reason I think this is so critical for us who are engaged in entrepreneurship or trying to start a business or just trying to do cool, disruptive, interesting things in life, where we have to consistently be the driver and be the creator of what we're doing, is that if we bear down too hard, if we try to force the results, a lot of times they don't come. And there's an entire industry that's built off of this phenomenon. There are a lot of enticements out there to say, oh, you're not getting the results that you want, then you need to add this to the mix. You need to buy this program. You need to take this course. You need to pivot in this direction. You need to attend this seminar. You need to try this new hack or widget, or watch this webinar that promises the one tell-all secret that's going to revolutionize your efforts, blah, blah, blah. For obvious reasons, marketers like to capitalize, and I don't say this disparagingly. I'm a marketer and entrepreneur. We like to capitalize on human problems, human tendencies, right? That we can't retrain people in order to have a business. We have to have a business based on how people actually are. So we kind of go with it. But this tendency of people to say, I'm not getting the results I want, therefore I need to add something. There's always somebody waiting there to sell you the thing to add to the mix. But the reality is, and the Buddhists call it, just chop your wood and carry your water. Chop wood and carry water. Do the work. Just got to go through the motions. You got to put in the reps. Every rep's not going to be perfect. You always want to be aiming for perfect execution, but never stopping yourself because you didn't achieve it. But just the muscle memory of again and again and again and again. And you're never going to build that muscle memory if you're constantly changing directions. I'm telling you this, to let the muddy water settle in your life, and through it, just keep going through the motions with intention, with consciousness. I'm not saying just go through the motions, rote and absently and checked out, but constantly be applying yourself. But don't trick yourself or be tricked by others, other purveyors of stuff, that you need some new thing to add to the mix. Most of what you need to achieve greatness is already inside you, but you have to train yourself. And a lot of times, the result that you're seeking is just a function of time and repetition. And don't be enticed by every person out there who wants to tell you that there's something missing, because they're not only preying on this tendency to look for something external, but they're actually, the more you fall prey to this, the more susceptible you are to the idea that there's just one more thing out there that you need to plug in, the more you're consistently reinforcing and actually, you're eroding the idea that actually what you already need, you already have, that it's inside you, and that you're discovering it and you're honing it and you're training it, and you're reinforcing the idea that there's no success that could ever be generated just by you internally or just through your own merits or your own value, and that you always have to go acquire something else. And that's just a really, really slippery slope. And I think we live in a world now that's constantly promising substitutes, shortcuts, hacks, turnkey systems, this and that. And at the end of the day, it just takes time, and it takes time applied through intensity, consistency, effort, blood, sweat, and tears. So stop trying to talk yourself out of it. Stop buying all the shiny objects that you get pitched on the internet, and just go do over time, and do the same again and again and again, and watch yourself change over time. Thanks for your time. I'll catch you later.